What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and Bitcoin is continuing to push to the upside. Are we about to see a big move up here? We do have some bullish signs on Market Cypher B that we were looking at on yesterday's live stream. If you guys tuned into yesterday's market update, you will know that we were looking for a key level at about $96,000 to flip to support in order to call for this next move up, and we have gotten that to happen. So we are now sitting just above another key level of support. Can we flip this and continue up? I'm going to break all that down in today's video. We have some bullish signs popping up on Market Cypher B, and as we get above these key levels of support, I want to talk about the possibility of continuing up and how I'm personally trading this price action so you guys can also make some money trading Bitcoin whether price goes up or down. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and as you can see, Bitcoin has gotten another leg to the upside here locally within our volume profile. And if you guys did watch the market update yesterday, you will know there was a very, very key level that we were looking to flip to support here. This is the anchored VWAP when pulled from about $98,850. This has been extreme resistance. This is what we were looking at yesterday. We got hammered down every time we tried to come up to this level. We got slammed back to the downside, and during yesterday's update, we were starting to play around with this level, and I was talking about how I wouldn't even mind a slight deviation below this value area low as long as we can get a quick recovery, get back above that anchored VWAP, flip it to support, and then that's where I would be looking for the continuation up into our local POC at about 96,718. This is a very, very key level. This level sits at about $96,000. I would say between $96,000 and $95,000 is going to be the real key levels that we want to hold on to, because that anchored VWAP comes in at 96K. So I don't mind temporarily playing around underneath this volume profile, but really at the end of the day, guys, this value area low at 95,676, this is really what we want to stay on top of, right? If we can stay inside here, flip that anchored VWAP to support finally, that's where we could continue up to the POC, which we just barely front ran earlier today. But if we can remain inside this range, guys, we could look for that move into the POC, flip that POC, and then potentially look for the larger move up into the value area high. And that is exactly what we saw happen. You can see we deviated below that low very slightly, got back up, and flipped this anchored VWAP to support absolutely beautifully, tapping it almost to the absolute pixel before holding support and getting our move up into our next target, flipping that into support, and then getting our next big move up. And guys, we are obviously still long here in the premium Discord from the 786 at about 93,459 for a nice about 5% move so far. I am in this trade over on Femex, now up about $2,100. Already got 250 locked in, so up about 2,500 bucks here. Not too bad for a couple of days of sitting on a computer and pressing some buttons with the CandleMafia. And I am going to see if we can get this local continuation up. Now, I am also in a local scalp short here, guys. Super low probability trade, but I'm only risking about $100 as this long is already up about $2,500-ish as price moves around here. And this stop loss is absolutely tight. So if I stop out of this, I'll lose about $100, but that doesn't matter because this long is absolutely slapping. And this was a setup in the premium that we were waiting for so long, looking to come down to that 786. And we even looked at this on a market update a couple of days ago, talking about this key level of support and how if we did come down there with bullish confirmations, we could potentially see that bigger bounce to the upside. Now, guys, as we bing bong around these local levels, I do just kind of want to break down what I'm looking at here and then zoom out to the higher time frames and talk about why I may be expecting another potential push to the upside. So obviously, guys, this is a simple volume profile trade where we wait for the deviation below the lows, come into the key level, find those strong confirmations, and that's where we look to take that long in anticipation of coming up into that value area low, hopefully getting above it, flipping it to support, going into the POC, and you get the rest, right? So that is basically what I'm looking at for this trade. We're going to see if we can make it up here to that value area high at about $98,350. That would be technically the final take profit on this scalp. However, I am going to be looking to take profits, move my stop loss, and hopefully hold this in case we do get that bigger push to the upside. Now, if we do come up to this value area high, guys, obviously this is going to be resistance, but if we could get above this level, again, at 98,350, we do have a lot of liquidity sitting above this wick at 98,850. So if we get above this level, guys, I will potentially be looking for that liquidity to act as a magnet for price, and if we could break into these liquidations, we could see another bigger pop to the upside, bringing us closer to $100,000, which is that magical number that everybody wants to see right now. We've been below it for quite some time. I know it would fix a little bit of the morale out there if we can get back up to 100K, but that's what I'm going to be looking at. About 98,350, 98,370 right up here is going to be that next value area high target. If we can get above that, we're going to see if we can come up and take some of that liquidity up here. And if we pull up the liquidation heat map, you can see all that liquidity sitting up here. Again, starting at about 98.8, coming all the way up closer to $100,000. And if we could peek into that as those shorts start to get stopped out and liquidated, it will add some market buy pressure, pushing us through that level, hopefully pushing us back into $100,000. So locally, guys, long still playing out beautifully here from that 786 low, and hopefully we could get that move up to the value area high. Now, I do want to come up to the higher time frames because if you guys have been watching the live stream, I was talking about a potential signal printing on Market Cypher B be with a specific strategy potentially assisting this push to the upside, and that was the daily bullish divergence. We have our lower lows on price action into our key level of support with our higher lows on our momentum waves, and we did indeed get that green dot to print finally here. And what did we see? We get that continuation to the upside. And it wasn't just that daily bullish divergence, guys. It was also the fact that we had our 90-minute and 80-minute money flow looking to cross over into the green here. And when you get that daily green dot with a money flow crossover into the green on the 90 or 80 minute, a lot of the times it will give you a bigger continuation to the upside. So these signals have now printed on the chart, and we are seeing that continuation up. Absolutely beautiful to see here. Now, looking at these higher time frame levels, guys, I will say this macro range does remain exactly the same. We do still have our value area low down here, which remains our key level of support at about $92,000. And this is our next major key level, guys. If we could stick around up here and hold above this point of control, this is the macro point of control sitting at $97,400. And if we could stay above this level, guys, this would open up the door to not only get us our move into our local value area high, however, in the context of the larger time frames, if we hide that local analysis, you can see here, once you get above that POC, we push in above that value area high. If we start breaking these levels, guys, we may be able to get gravitated towards the macro value area high, which is going to be my next big target for this long position. If we can hold it and move our stop loss and see that continuation up, we can move into this tapped weekly level that we have right here, where I am still short from, actually, guys, from about $102,000. So I am going to continue to hold this. My stop loss is in profit, so if we do wind up coming out, I already have profits locked in, stop loss to break even. So I'm going to continue to hold that position. But if we do come up there, guys, this is that next major target. So if we can make it out of this local volume profile, just keep this on your charts, right? We push up here, potentially come into the value area high, flip that to support, come into these liquidations. Hopefully that could give us the bigger move up, and then hopefully we could continue that journey. And at that point, we are simply above our macro POC, which keeps that doorway to the value area high open. And this is a zone of resistance that I'm looking at, guys, 102,500 all the way into that value area high at about 103.3K. So hopefully, guys, we can continue to hold these levels. And I will say at this point, our biggest key levels of support, if we are going to get a cool off, because remember, guys, nothing goes up in a straight line forever. So I will be watching the same signal we looked at last night. If we were going to get a bigger pullback, I was talking about looking at that 4-hour red dot to print in order to see price start to get the bigger pullback. And thank God we did not print it, because it did give us the continuation up. But this is still going to be the bigger signal that I'm watching if we are going to get a significant retracement. And if we do, those key levels down below are going to be at about 97.4, where we have the macro POC. And another really big level that I am going to be watching, guys, is the anchored VWAP. When pulled from that $102,500 high, you can see this anchored VWAP has been miserable resistance every time we came up here. Slam back down, slam back down, slam back down, slam back down, slam, just absolutely holding us back. But now as we are breaking this key level, there we go, baby. I just got stopped out of my scalp short position, which is totally fine. I'm actually excited to see that happen, because I really would rather this bigger long position play out. Just lost $100, but that long is now up $2,242 unrealized with that 250 locked in. So not a big deal. All about hedging your positions and using that good risk management. But as we see this push to the upside, guys, that macro POC, let's hold above it. Anchored VWAP, if we could flip this to support, we might get that 4-hour red dot to cool us off, but I would love to see price come down and start flipping these levels, build up some support, and then get that bigger move into the upside, where we have that upper liquidity sitting above this high at 98.50, and then hopefully we could see the continuation up. But we'll reassess the situation once we get up there. But the macro situation, guys, these are the key levels I'm looking at, with the bigger targets up towards 102.5 to 103.3K, and the internal local levels are just going to be in here with that volume profile. Can we get that volume profile to hit while I'm recording this video? Come on, baby, give it to us. So just understand the macro levels remain the same, and until we wind up breaking out here, I am going to be watching these local levels inside this local volume profile. So let's see if and when we do get the cool off with that 4-hour red dot printing. Those are the key levels I'm going to be looking at. They're coming in between about 97,350 and that anchored VWAP, which will move over time. I will be looking at that, and it is currently right now sitting at about 97,152. So I gotta hop out of here, guys. Hopefully we could see that value area hit, but that is the power of the volume profiles, guys. You wait for that deviation below, come into a key level, find those confirmations, and then you have that beautiful guide on where price is likely to go next, giving you a beautiful roadmap on where you should be taking profits and what levels you need to flip in order to see the full rotation of that volume profile. So shout out to the Candle Mafia. I know you guys have been enjoying this volume profile trading. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for today's market update. So watch that daily green dot with the bullish divergence and the money flow coming up on the 90 and 80 minute. That signal we looked at last night is starting to play out, giving us that beautiful move up. So until next time, guys, that's all the time time I got for today's video. Consider subscribing to the channel and smashing that like button. It helps us out a ton over here. And I'll see you on the live stream at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide.